cheers.
Cheers, mate.
And welcome to my first interview ever. I'm excited.
It's good to be here. I'm glad to be the first.
Sweet. Yeah, so this is Ty Kennedy, a great guitarist, great artist. Love his original music as well as different covers and everything. Y'all are about to be putting out an EP this summer, or is that just a remaster? What's that?
No release date.
No release date,
right
but what is it though that is up and coming?
So pretty much what we got going on is, the whole story behind the band and shit. So we got the songs that we did.
Okay.
Back in it was like 2015.
Mm-hmm.
2015 is when we recorded that because that's when the house burned down. So we got fucking like 4 songs that we cut, or maybe I think it's like 5. So
Mm-hmm.
like 4 or 5 songs. Actually, it's 6. I'm sorry, it's 6.
And this was in 2015.
I gotta regroup here.
Oh no, I feel you. So this was in 2015, and this was when y'all were still living in the house that burned down.
No, house burnt down. So we were recording. Okay, so on Spotify, you go on Spotify, Atomic Subculture, and it's a fucking Burnt House EP. Right. And it says the Burnt House EP, and there's 4 songs, unfinished. So there's like 1 finished track on there, or 2 finished tracks on there that weren't ever like the final cuts for the album. They were just the first few recordings of Dopamine and Circus Song. So like those 2 songs were complete, like demoed out right there on that EP. Like that's how they were gonna sound, just re-recorded better, But when the house burnt down, we didn't have any of the recordings that we had saved on the computer, because all that shit got burnt.
Dang.
So fucking went on. I just for a few days after the house burnt down, I went through emails and found the files and shit that I sent to myself.
I love you.
And
now.
I just picked the best ones,
Yeah.
And then I made the EP, and then I had old girl do me the damn cover and shit, or whatever.
You talking about Katie, or who did that?
That was Camille that did the
Camille,
thing.
okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So she did, she helped, design the album art, took the picture and stuff, and, I was trying to get something for us to have, you know what I mean, to release, because we talked about releasing an album, I was like...
You talking about to your following?
Yeah, just to everybody that's been coming to the shows,
Mm-hmm.
we were fresh on the scene, and we didn't have any originals to hand out to people,
right.
Any demos, but we had been handing out 3-song EPs. So me and the guys all talked about it, and we were like, well, why don't we just make a 4-song EP instead of giving out 2-song EP CDs? Let's print an EP or something and get them to buy it,
Yeah.
and have the image and stuff, and sell it like an album, but it's just an EP or whatever.
Right.
But physical copies.
It's better
and shit.
than a couple tracks.
When we had all that, we took the picture in front of the house and it was burnt down and shit, it was let's use this, let's tell this story.
Right.
And those songs they were salvaged from that. So
yeah.
it was more of it was dedicated to for the album being a farewell kind of EP.
Okay.
For okay, well, we can't use those tracks on another album because we want to make sure that when we make our albums, we do them all in one, set.
So you're saying don't record guitar and shit and drums on in 2015, and then in another studio somewhere else you don't want to record vocals and other stuff to go on it. Is that what you're saying?
No, what I'm saying is if I do a drum mix.
Mm-hmm.
Say we set the drums up at the house, the burnt down, whatever. So all the drums on that EP, all are the same. Not the mics weren't moved.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It was the same.
So
drum
session.
Single
session kind of thing.
Exactly.
Not single session, but
it's all one piece.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you change the room sounds, you change the vibe of the album.
Absolutely.
So.
And unless that's what you're going for, you gotta...
Yeah, you can do that, and that's fine. But, we didn't want to do that. We kind of wanted one drum mix.
Mm-hmm.
At least that's what,
Were you one of the main? Was it pretty equal as far as deciding how y'all wanted to do the recording and stuff like that, or did somebody take headway on that?
Recording usually, like back then, compared to now, like back then, recording usually it like consisted of me bringing out the laptop, setting up, and then I would start working on pre-production.
Okay.
So I'd start setting up mics. I'd be, making like playing the drums, listening back, and then it would turn into me recording, just recording something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then it would turn into, all right, Ethan, you ready to drop your drum track? Because I had it set up, and he got in there and he goes, well, can you change this? Can you change that? Or this sounds good? Or let me, you know what I mean?
So it was
just me setting up that, stuff. And then
you create kind of the foundation.
Everyone comes in, and then Patrick comes in, and he's like, setting the guitar, and then he'll want to record a song, and like, we did Dizzy and Rough. Like, there's songs that we did that are freaking awesome that we just, never share with
Patrick
people.
recorded Dizzy and Rough one time. We didn't show anybody. I mean, I showed a couple people, but
me and Patrick would sit there and just record like this like same songs a billion times just to try to get like the best take of it.
Yeah,
like
see what might naturally come of it.
Yeah, like there was like with that one we put the fucking Patrick was in the hallway or something, or no, he like I think we put the mic all the way back in the hallway, kind of where his room was, and he played from the living room. No, I remember now. He was in the hallway, right? Like, because his room was right here, my room was right there. And then there was the bathroom, and then the hallway came out to the kitchen and shit.
Okay.
So, we put, like, he was sitting in the hallway, kind of where there's, like, L shape, where there's a wall right there, and the hallway goes to the jam room. Mm-hmm. So, he's kind of sitting, like, wall here. Like, so from head back to him, that's all, that mic's right there. You know? And then I was playing drums in the background. So, like, you just hear, like, lightly in the background, like, the drums.
On his guitar track?
Exactly.
So, just, like, you were just trying different recording techniques.
Literally just one take. Like, the whole track was him, guitar, and me.
Oh, you're talking about...
One track,
that was
one mic.
That was going to be the drums as well.
Yeah, that was the drums. We still have the recording somewhere. Just got to find it.
Yeah.
But
So, you said that was Dizzy and Rough?
Yeah. I think it was Dizzy and
Rough. Do y'all have that on this 6 songs?
No.
What are the 6 songs on this one?
So we got Dopamine, Fish.
Any new ones? Or are these all these?
Okay, so Dopamine, Fish. You got Brisk is one that hasn't been released.
Okay.
So Dopamine's been released. Fish has been released. Fish unreleased. So Dopamine or unfinished. Sorry.
Right.
So Dopamine, Fish, Brisk, Crossroads has been released on multiple albums.
Okay.
I think. If I can remember. No, it's only been on one. So this is the second release of Crossroads. So Dopamine, Fish, Brisk, Crossroads, Forever Planet hasn't been released before.
I haven't even heard of that one. I think I've heard y'all play Brisk live. I think that's one of my favorite ones, if it's what I'm thinking of.
Because we didn't do Sluggish.
Is Brisk the one where y'all do the pause? Dude, that's so cool. Yeah, dude, that's such a it's kind of iconic almost. It's really cool.
That hi-hat part's like almost not even necessary, but the reason why he does it is because it's like the beat's not like it's. So he starts it with his left hand. He's like, ding, like ding.
So it's not just a steady, like he adds something to it. So
so it's worth the count. It's worth using that as like as a count or whatever. Because usually you would be like, James almost did that on the album, and I was like, no, like that's the fucking part where it's like,
yes,
and like he samples that rudiment on the chorus and stuff too.
Oh, cool. So you're talking about James did, or are you talking about just Ethan will just play?
Like that hi-hat pattern, he'll use it on the chorus as well.
Yeah,
and you can't really tell, but like he's fucking badass, dude.
In y'all's songs, I
always forget about Who They Are. That's what it is. Who They Are for everybody.
Who They Are.
But
and that's one that hasn't been released either.
Who They Are has been released, but then taken off.
Taken off?
Yeah.
I don't think I've heard it. I'm excited, dude.
Yeah.
I'm really excited for this.
Awesome.
And see, dude, I'm gonna be following for sure. And y'all check him out on SoundCloud, Spotify.
AtomicSubculture.com.
AtomicSubculture.com. You can check him out.
Yeah. We're still working on the website.
Yeah.
Got to get merch. Got to get
Who's doing
all
the
this
website?
shit. I'm designing the website right now, dude.
I've tried to design websites, and it's such a pain. I just don't even want to do it.
It takes a lot of time because
sit.
You can move things around and shit, but like where I fuck up is I'll only edit the fucking the computer one. So and then I'll forget to edit the fucking cell phone one, you know?
Yeah. Dude, and everybody's on cell phone.
Well, the thing is like I'll sit there and be editing the cell phone one and forget to go back and do the same thing on the computer one.
Dude, but I would say 9 times out of 10, somebody's going to be watching this on their phone. They're probably going to do it right now, make that video smaller, and go search right now.
But it fucks up the format is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So if they were to go on the website one and look at it, they're like, oh, why is it over here? Like, you know?
Yeah.
So you got to keep that in mind. That's the only hard part for real.
Yeah.
You know, other than content.
And all of your content's on there that y'all have out right now?
Not our EP.
Not your, except
but
for...
you can find the Burnt House EP on there. Mm-hmm. There's Brisk is on there if you want to listen to Brisk, and you know, pictures and bio and
I think I've only listened to what y'all have on iTunes.
Yeah, some people don't have Spotify, man. You gotta use iTunes.
I agree. My brother proved me wrong though, because I told him, I was like,
iTunes.
Well, not necessarily. I pay for iTunes, but I'm gonna pay for one of them because I don't care for ads, and that's my media. I don't watch TV really, so like I'm not gonna have ads on my music. So I pay for iTunes because they pay their artists better. Like Spotify's paying, I think, about half, and it's getting lower and lower.
Well, the cool thing about Spotify though is like, if you want to release a cover song, then you can without having to get a mechanical license.
How do they do that? Do they pay you for it still, or you don't know?
I don't know.
I
don't think I'm selling it. You know what I mean?
I guess that's true, because I mean, what doesn't like 90% go to the original artist, something like that? I
would think 100% would go to the original artist.
That's what seems
even when you pay
reasonable.
the mechanical license, you pay the license to use the song.
Right. So what is that? What does that cost usually? Is it like a universal fee or?
I have no idea, dude. I saw the option on Spotify where it was like, if you want to do a cover, or if you want to distribute a cover to any platform, you have to have a mechanical license, but Spotify, you know. So I was like, fuck it, I'll just do Spotify.
Yeah.
You know, and I released that dumb cover.
Yeah, and then you can just start getting more fans from that, and they can start liking your Spotify, and that's, from what I've heard, honestly, for an artist, Spotify is the best way to go for mainstream.
You just gotta, like, setting up the artist account is annoying, but once you figure it out, you're like, okay, I can see all my stats and shit.
Yeah.
It took me a minute to figure that out, how to set up the artist account.
Yeah, I'm working on a few different kind of things, trying to get stuff released.
Because if you don't do that, you're not going to meet the standards. Like, if we didn't register our business, then, like, we're not going to meet the standards for society to be, for us to be able to be like, okay, like, yeah, like, this is actually what we do for a living. You know, like, it's on paper, we file taxes on this shit.
Does that feel way different to you?
No.
Feels the same.
No, this has been the plan.
Yeah.
You know? But Patrick is fucking excited, bro. He's got the book and shit.
Oh, dude, I love when Pat gets excited about this stuff. He's such a nerd about it.
He's on it, dude. He's fucking on it.
He's one of the most. I look up to Pat a lot as a musician and just as a good dude.
He's good at keeping things in order, and making it organized and shit.
He went to go buy his house, and he just brought 3 years of bills that he's paid. Like, who the fuck does that, dude? Fuck, I love it. No, but it's funny because you have that.
They want to see, man. That's what they want to see if you're working.
Yeah, and
that's it. Like,
it was funny. He talked to me about managing. He's like, she's just like, you have the image or whatever. And it's like he sells himself short, I think, but I don't know, man. I think he could do a really good job. But here's what I do want to get back to: different recording stuff. Because you said you did where he was playing drums in the background. You did that to record. What are some other kind of different, interesting techniques you use to record?
I think that the first take we did of Dopamine was inside, but then the one that's on the EP, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty positive. Excuse me. I tried to hold it in and it just started coming out. I couldn't do it.
You want another?
Yes, please. Pool 2.
Keep on.
But so The dopamine track on the EP, I think
Pull that mic a little closer to you if you could, actually.
it's the drums were recorded outside on the porch, you know, and because we had this, like, the house was set up like a damn it was a house on stakes or whatever, or how do you call them, flood houses or whatever they're called,
stilts or whatever.
yeah, still stakes. Put on some stakes, got some stakes. But yeah, but then they just, like, you know, they just covered it all up, made rooms out of it on the bottom. So we had that balcony up at the top, and I put the drums out there, and then I just put the mics through the windows and shit, and then I'd run the cables, like double cable out through the back door, you know, and then just had the mic set up, because all of my stuff was right there by the porch anyway, right there in the fucking living room. So
really,
you could run mics right out on the porch. You could run an entire we were thinking about doing it, but you could run an entire band setup right there, you know, on that porch. So we were like, let's play. Like,
I wonder. I'm gonna have to listen for that, because I remember I recorded outside, and there's something about it. It just gives it a feel.
Yeah,
it gives it a vibe, man.
If you get a good, like, calm day,
acoustic,
where it's
or, like,
not windy, you know. Yeah,
dude.
With
Even
the birds, you hear the birds and shit in there, and then you're like, okay, a minute, but then the drum comes in. Like, what the?
Yeah, it takes you on a whole ride. I love songs and albums that do that, and I actually have probably failed at studying music like I should. I've just recently, because of Pat's influence, started listening to actual albums. Yeah. So I listened to Led Zeppelin 1 and 2, and I listened to a few different ones, but
buying records
I just
helps.
I get obsessed with one track at a time. Like, what's the most recent track do you get like that with one track at a time, or?
I think I do. I think
what's one of the recent ones?
For me, like, I listen to a lot of different shit, but the stuff that I usually get into, like, I've been in, like, no bullshit, I've been into Zilla Cami, or I think his name's Zilla Cami or whatever. He's a
rapper or what?
Yeah, he raps, and his shit has a lot of like grunge influence. You know, you can hear like the riffs and shit.
Really?
And I'm like, yeah, I like this, cool. But it's like real hardcore and fucking. He's talking about some real shit, you know.
What does he enunciate like? What does he sound like? Does he have like an emo enunciation at all in any of his words, or is it more hip hop style typically?
I think he would agree. You know, it's not a bad thing, you know, but it's probably like more like emo.
Where you can like, kind of hear this,
it's grunge.
Like, almost like this kind of accent.
To me, it's grungy. Because he sings, which, and it's great. Like, it's fucking perfect, you know. But then he fucking has like his screams and shit, and like his yell, like, you know. So like,
oh, so is it more like Avenged Sevenfold kind of rapping that you hear, or is it more like
no, dude,
or is it just something completely new?
Bro, no, it's like, it's good. You gotta listen to it, man.
I'll check it out.
It ain't no damn Avenged Sevenfold type of fucking.
No, but I mean, like, as far as the difference between when you say rap, I'm thinking, you know, hip hop beat.
Yeah, it's like trap. I wish I could.
Hey, I could probably just pull it up. Listen to some real quick.
Huh?
We can listen to some real quick.
Sorry, I got burps, man.
YouTube sound.
Full of air here. Huh?
You know what I could do is plug your phone into the speaker, and that would sound better. Or if you just want to play it up to the microphone, do that. That's the best thing, because
where am I at?
I can hear it well through that.
I gotta have my mind like worrying about.
I want to
billion things at once.
I want to change the dark.
Where's my Spotify? There it is.
I think this screen might be too bright. I'm gonna change it.
Dude, Bitcoin went down so much.
Really? I got pretty much all the way out of Bitcoin.
It's at 49 right now.
49,000? What was it at, like 56?
57, 56.
Dang. How long you been into finances like that?
I just got into it. I don't even know what
the
fuck it means. It's almost like, okay, I'm just trying to like, it's like going and fucking like putting your money in them damn slot machines and shit.
At first, yeah, I'll say I've been doing it. I've been studying stocks and shit since I was like 20. I'm 29 now.
Yeah.
So I've learned a couple things. I've been able, because the freaking stock market's on a huge rise right now. It's about to correct and probably come back down, so they say. But they said that before the fourth quarter or the third quarter earnings came out, which just came out like last month. So everything's still been going up. That's why Bitcoin's going down, because it kind of goes inverse when it's a spike.
That's why I'm just like, fucking buy now, dude, while it's low. Because I was buying at 64. And then it started going down, and I was like, I'm 60. buying. I've been buying all the way down. I've been buying, dude. Yeah. It's fucking crazy.
And then I've done 30% increase in the last 8 months, though.
Nice.
That's fucking sick. Because what's cool, if you go on Robinhood, just quick tip, if you have a couple thousand to invest, you can pay like $5 a month.
Yeah.
And then a little bit of interest, and you get an extra $1,000 to invest. And then I used it, and now I have a $3,000 account with like an extra $3,000 to invest as well.
Yeah, dude.
For like a few bucks a month. I think overall I've paid $750 a month on average, and I've been making on that money an extra $400 or $500 every 3 months. In the last 3 months or 6 months,
up, dude, it does. You're working, you're grinding music. You know what I mean? You're doing,
check this out.
And then you look.
Here's how I got that $2,000. Yeah. I got a credit card that had a $2,000 limit, and I let that go up, and I just used my cash, and I put it in there, so I didn't actually have to have any extra money. So yeah, I'm paying interest to my credit card as well.
Yeah,
I think it's like $6-7 a month in interest on that. So even still, pennies to my dollars I'm making. That's where I've learned from the rich. You hedge your freaking.
That's to taking the risk.
Borrow.
That's taking the risk when you're fucking with interest, man. Mm-hmm. You're fucking with your credit.
Yep. And my credit did go down, but I took money out for my stocks that I made, and I put it back in there, so paid it back down, and so now my credit's going back up again.
I genuinely think if you're good at it, like good about paying your shit off, if you want to make a big jump or something, and you do fuck up your credit score a little bit, you might make some capital gain and then go back and fix your points a little bit, because then you can start like buying things and then paying them off like in full. You know what I mean?
And if there are things that are making you money, like
goes your credit back.
Like for instance, if you're buying, like what they call lemonade stands, small businesses buy a $10,000 car wash.
Yeah,
vending machines, stuff like that. But
I was like, I don't want to take a loan. I don't want any interest.
I know it's
pay that shit in full.
Yeah, that is it's tough to get into because it is risky and it's scary. But it's what unlocks the money for you. It's crazy. The credit is the biggest financial tool. That's how y'all have all your equipment is through credit.
Well, you gotta think, bro. That's why I said you gotta get you a fucking damn. I feel like I sound like a robot. You gotta get you a Sweetwater account, dude. Because
I have Sweetwater. I told him about it.
Yeah, I put zero
Patrick
interest fucking shit. That shit is wonderful for artists.
That is some of this crap.
Yeah, and you can pay it off whenever the fuck you want, as long as you do it within the 72
whatever the months are, because they're all different per product. Some products are 60 or some products are 24 months, some are 18, because I have to pay one thing off in 6 months, but it's like a $5 purchase.
Yeah, okay, so it varies, but either way, as long as you pay it off before then, you can budget,
and it sets it up already for you to pay it off like that.
Yeah,
so as long as you don't miss any payments, that's the key. If you miss a payment, then they tack on all of the interest. That's where zero interest gets you. That's another quick lesson. And Sweetwater for musicians, check out Sweetwater. They're killing it. They always have great customer service too. I got to give it up to them.
Yeah, dude.
I thought Guitar Center was the way.
If you don't make the payment, then
it'll tack on the interest for everything. It'll tack on all of the interest. So let's say it doesn't just start accruing interest at that point. So let's say 6 months down the line, you miss one payment or it goes late. There might be something in those terms. I don't know if it's when you go late. It depends on the contract. I didn't read it.
But that's if you don't pay it off within the time scale they give you.
You have a minimum payment, though.
Okay.
If you miss your minimum payment, that's what
I don't know. I'm not the one doing it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, that's what I'm saying.
That shit,
and I have the same credit card. But pretty much all credit cards.
But he knows. He knows that.
Oh yeah, he's gonna make the payments. You don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, I know that. I'm just saying, I thought it meant that you could go without making a payment and just pay it whenever you want. But you have to have minimum payments.
Yeah, usually they're pretty pretty minimal. I mean, I pay my minimum payment. I think is like $50, and I spent like $500.
See, that ain't.
So y'all's is probably going to be like $100 a month.
And that's what's been. That's what's been going on.
And on $3,000 of equipment, that's
I didn't know. I don't know shit about this kind of stuff, man.
And that's why like I try to educate people as much as I can, because selling cars, I learned about credit. Selling jewelry, I learned about credit. Yeah. Reading for dummies, I learned about credit. Watching endless hours of YouTube videos. I mean, I've got a notebook full of notes on stocks.
But if you're dumb like me,
the
best thing you can do is just pay in full. just pay it off, right away. Because then you're gonna have money built up that you're gonna have to owe. And then let's just say you don't have that money the next week. You fucked around, got sick. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So
you are
pay your shit
risk.
in full, and then kind of just don't let it build up.
So we got sidetracked again. So let's talk again about different recordings. So you recorded out on the porch one time. You recorded drums and guitar with the same mic at one time. What was some other things you did,
what I did for the album? If you listen to the songs, what you'll notice is every stringed instrument has the same mic setup. Direct.
Yeah.
Room mic. So I had two mics.
That's what I'm going to redo on mine.
Yeah, so 2 mics for each string section, And then that way I could take Patrick's mic and hard pan it, and then look, and like I was designing our sound. Like if you listen to the album and close your eyes, you'll see us on stage is what my goal was. So Patrick's on the left side, or the right side, I'm on the left side, and then so my amp's over here, but I would put my amp more direct over here, his amp more direct on the right side, and then I'd take our room mics and cross pan them, so that way his room mic was on the left. So when his, like in the recording, when his direct plays out, it plays out like that.
It's like it's coming like this.
Exactly. So, and then that way you still get the room sound, but you still hear his direct kind of, guitar sound and shit. Because on the album you want to hear the guitar. It's not like you're in the fucking venue.
So did you also end up putting reverb and stuff on that, or is it? Or did you? I used I only
used the room sound.
So you used all right.
And then pedals.
Yeah.
So you did,
all analog,
but we had already trained those songs to cue our pedals, because we wrote those songs and played them live so long, then recorded them.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but that's how we like to do shit, you know what I mean? Because in that way, like, you get the pre-production down, you get all the good shit down, and then that way the only things you have to worry about is your guitar tune, your pedal tune, like, you know what I mean, like the tones you want, and then once those are locked in, you don't touch them. And then you come back and you just keep them like that. But
how much were your original songs affected by your live performances of them? Any at all, or were they already done by the time you started performing them?
How? Say that again?
Like when you started performing your songs, did they start to morph? Did they start to change? Or were they set and y'all played them pretty close to the same way all the time?
Sorry. So what we would do is, like, we would write a song, like Dopamine or whatever, blah, blah. We'd fucking have that song, we'd play it live. The song was done. So pretty much every time we play it, the only thing that would change is what we're feeling in the moment. You know what I mean? So
you did all your writing was done in the house or in studio, or like before you got on stage.
Yeah, we wrote the songs.
Yeah.
But sometimes we'll jam a song live and then we'll play it for a minute, and then later we'll get back in the jam room and be like, hey, like that riff we played.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, so did that happen often, or was that
happens all the time?
So on most of your songs, there's probably moments where there was something that happened live that kind of went into that.
Yeah, like, I mean,
that's awesome.
I
feel like
when you get to that point with each other, then you're able to just. I know where he's gonna go.
I've had that alone, but I've never had that. The closest thing I've had to that, other than like just jamming with y'all, but getting to know somebody that well is in tennis. Actually, I had this tennis player. His name is Vincent Wynn. He was killer, and he had this finesse, and I was like powerful. I hit all these flat like bah, but when we played each other, we just read each other like a book, back and forth, and our points would last forever. ever. And like, what I noticed is it's probably just my brain relating everything, but I find that same emotion, that same feeling when I'm playing live, shooting those ideas back and forth.
Yeah.
Because it's almost the same thing, because I have to put it out there and it might get lost. It might get missed. I've missed, definitely, when somebody was trying to go somewhere. I've missed those before, and it didn't go anywhere, and it was may or may not have been awkward,
happens,
but
like,
yeah.
You don't look like, that's the thing though, man. You got to be, when you lock in your songs, then the jams accent the songs. You know
I'm talking more just improv in general. That's what I was talking about. Oh, you're talking
the
about
improv jams accent your songs. So say we're playing live. All right, well, we know what the set is, and we know how to play all those songs really good. We know the transitions. We've got transitions. Mm-hmm. And some transitions are already jams we've been working on that are new, and then you add the new jams. So you always, like, but when you add the new jams, you go to practice, and you just keep doing the same thing. So each show you come up with a new jam. And
some new jams will get left in, and they're just like, I wasn't feeling that, or the crowd.
Or then you bring it back out later, or whatever.
Yeah, in a different setting.
And then sometimes those become songs.
Yeah.
You know?
I've found, personally, I haven't gotten to write with a band, except for, like, I think one metal song, and it was cool, but it was way too much going on. We didn't know what we were doing. But it was a lot of fun. But my writing personally has definitely been developed a lot by playing live, and I try to push that too with people. Anyone who asks me about writing or anything, like, play your songs in front of people, because the first thing I notice is my cringy lyrics, and then I'm like, okay, I don't like those. I know I have to replace those. Sometimes I'll replace them on the spot, and that's what I stick with.
Yeah.
Like, that's where some of my greatest lyrics come from, because they have to be, I don't know, it's such a spontaneous thing.
Yeah.
And it just happens.
That's not this, like, I feel like if I write a song, it's definitely not me, you know? So, like, when you have missing pieces, when you go and you do something and you're like, oh, that's the part, that's what needs to go there.
Yeah.
That wasn't you. You know what I mean? You had to go do something or get influence to finish that part. So therefore, like, that was probably that person or that energy.
Feel,
you know what I mean?
Your role is more like you're collecting data and putting it together, and as opposed to
I may just be more interested in that area of collecting. You know,
that's very interesting.
So, like, what I have collected may be what 3 people needed, or vice versa. Like, you know, what say Wade will bring something to the table, but he may have, like, a guitar idea and a bass idea, right?
Right.
I'll play his guitar idea, you know.
Oh, I play your song for inspiration.
But that's my part, and then when I play it, I'm like, oh yeah, that's definitely the part. But I never made it, so but it feels like
now it's part of the song.
That's just how, you know. That's what you're doing.
It's like the song takes it itself almost.
Yeah, you don't get a choice. That's how I see it.
Has it always been that way for you?
Yeah, man. You grow up playing in church, you have no choice but to follow along everybody else.
So that's where you got most of your experiences in church, especially playing, like, did y'all ever do improv stuff, or was it all laid out?
There'd be some moments in some churches where you know, you'd improv, like, going into, like, a deeper part of a song, or, like, you know, going into a prayer or something.
Yeah,
and you'd have to improv something, and then doing a build
like
up, extending a song.
Stuff.
That's what church was good for. Church was good for teaching you dynamics, taking a song and turning it into a show. You know, like a song, some people, you can just play a song, and then other people can play a song for like 3 hours.
And you're like,
you know, and it's the same fucking song. That's how church is. Church is like, all right, you thought we were done? Nah. Dun, 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 dun.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Did you play all the different instruments in church?
Yeah, I sang bass, drums, guitar.
Church is where before it came, it killed my ego before it came, which was beautiful. That and choir, because in choir, your voice doesn't need to be heard. No. You need to match, and
it needs to be like
part of the piece.
Yeah, not everyone can hear it, but you'll feel it.
Right, and it's same with like playing guitar. When you are new on stage playing guitar, you either don't play it enough to do anything, or you overplay everything.
Yeah.
And
volume control
church
is always my favorite.
Taught me to play way less,
yeah,
and to be really decisive about
that's true man.
Things.
Because if you play a lot, then
you're still in the spotlight.
Exactly,
it's not about you.
Exactly, it's about the Lord. You know, and you don't want to solo. You can't do a guitar solo. You want to add like an atmospheric kind of vibe or whatever you can to help, like, you know, draw people in and shit.
And the same thing goes for performance. It's not about you. It's about the performance.
Exactly.
And you are the most openly artistic performer I've ever seen, for sure. There's other people I've seen that kind of have a similar energy, like El Papi. He has a similar energy to you, dude, when he does his solo shows.
Awesome,
he's cool, man. He's a cool cat.
Papi can rock and roll, dude.
I like old Papi.
You know?
I'm gonna have to tag him in this.
Please do. Yes.
Well, we'll just talk about everybody. No, but your ability to let things take a hold of you and do what, I don't even know what it is. I don't really know how to define it. But at one time on this guitar, actually, which he practically gifted to me in trade for a looper pedal, which is a cool looper pedal, but
it works.
Anyways,
it lets me do it.
That's another thing. That's just fluffing his balls real quick. But
fluff it.
But you were on stage and you were stepping all over the guitar, just like in this kind of trance, and
I was skating, bro.
It was so intense, and it worked. It totally worked for the performance.
Nice.
And like, I could definitely see people criticizing that. But like Patrick, he's like, "Well, how are you gonna step on your guitar?"
He's gonna give me shit every time.
Oh, absolutely.
You know?
But it totally worked. I've absolutely seen people try to go for stuff and it be cringy. Yeah. We've all seen it in that freaking peeing video. That was a lot. That was a lot, dude. I was not prepared for that. It was. Anyways, I didn't try to watch it, and it came up still. I've tried to avoid most of the crazy viral videos. No, but as far as, that's really interesting you say that, because I was gonna ask about how you feel about. Do you say that that's more creativity in general or art? And really, what I want to ask is, do you feel like creativity itself is a big part of art? Or is it just something that happens to be in art a lot?
Creativity?
Mm-hmm. Like, yeah. Or originality. To be a little more toward what I'm saying.
I think that, you know, like, in order to create something, you know, there has to be destruction. And in this case, there's more, whether, like, because a lot of if you listen to a lot of songs on the radio, they're always a freaking love song.
I write a lot of love songs.
And I'm not taking away, like, some people may make a song sound like a love song, but it's not.
I wish I could write not love songs more.
But every song is a love song. And even with that, even with the happiness or the sadness, like all that stuff, even with any of those songs that you hear just within the love songs, there has to be a sort of destruction, you know what I mean, before the creation comes, right? Like, but creativity, I feel like, can be an art form, you know, but then also, then that just pretty much insinuates that everything is an art form.
Yeah.
So then you have to accept that. You know what I mean? So like that door frame is as much as an art form than that towel is.
Right. And so I almost want to talk about art in a different sense as because there's that where it's an art form. And and that's why, and I'm kind of been mulling this over of, is it necessary to be, I guess that answers my question. It wouldn't be necessary to be original to be an artist.
Everything's original, you know, if you think about it, because you don't look like me, I don't look like you, but you have something that may not be original that's coming out of your body, and therefore makes it original because your tone is different. It's like like the amps are different, you know. I mean, you're an amp and you're projecting sound and activities and shit. You're an amp with legs and arms, you know. I don't know, something like that.
No, I know what you mean. I see what you're saying. I need to think of what I'm really wanting to ask. What is
I suck at that, man. I can never blow O's ever.
You good on that? Or you want...
Solid. But
so you mentioned y'all recorded on the porch.
Yeah.
Did the one mic recording you did. So, and then everything else you kind of just set it at a really specific place and did that for every track.
Well, we had a lot of issues with having to play shows and move shit. So some songs were recorded at different times, but because the room was the same, I didn't feel it necessary to really worry about the different sound. Because, like, I could always, like, you know what I mean? Like, I would tape, you know, where I'd put the mic stand and shit. But really, you don't have to, you know? Like, you just remember where you put it, you know? And then the room is just the only difference would be the tuning of the drums, you know, or something.
Because they'll change every time, yeah. Maybe new heads and stuff.
We didn't care about that shit.
No.
You know, we just wanted to record.
So you got that all recorded. House burned down. You want to go into that at all and what that was like after that? We had no clothes. Was going through your head, man?
We needed clothes, man.
So that was your first thing. You're like, I have no damn clothes.
Oh my God, I'm sorry, everybody. Yeah. We had no clothes. So, like, we got this bag of clothes from everybody who donated and shit. Like, for weeks, we just all shared, like, different clothes and shit because nothing was ours, you know?
Yeah.
And then, you know, we got our equipment back because they did a GoFundMe for us.
That's cool. That's really cool.
But, like, the next night we played a show. After the house burned down, the next night we just borrowed equipment from the other bands and shit. We played a show at the Plug House. And it was rough. It was horrible. But we fucking did it, you know. And, like, we didn't have our shit, so we didn't have our pedals. We didn't have anything. You know, we couldn't run our set how we wanted to. So it sounded like balls, man. And if you go back and watch it, it sounds like fucking
like
ass.
You weren't rehearsed.
It's exactly. And it just goes to show, like, when you have all your tools and you're used to using those tools, when it's time to adjust, you know, like, how are you going to sound? You know, that's the real challenge. Like, what can you do with nothing? You know, because there's an old saying, old Walt. Yeah. Said, you know, he said, I've been doing so much with nothing for so long, I can pretty much, or he said, what did he say? Fuck, I can't remember how he says it. He says, damn it, I've been doing, man, I don't forgot, I can't, but he'll tell you though, and you know, he knows what I'm talking about. I ain't gonna mess him up, but it's a good saying, dude. He's and it does, like, if I have a guitar and an amp, I should be able to make it sound like it's out of phase. You know what I mean?
That's why I really have avoided pedals at all costs, and because of all costs. I don't want to spend the money. But seriously, I like the amps overdrive. I don't even have a distortion pedal, which I don't know. That's just me. I probably should. But when I need to crank that, I crank it.
If you don't need distortion,
I'm not really playing rock and roll either.
Dynamics isn't about
for real
distortion and shit. Dynamics is about loud and quiet.
Like you were saying, knowing your tools.
Yeah. Space. You know, like how to use the instrument and how to ride. You know what I mean? Like,
so y'all got some clothes together, got some equipment together.
We got clothes.
Started playing some shows. Did y'all end up all moving into, or you played a show and then? Did y'all end up going all to different places after that? Moved into different houses, or what happened?
Okay, so I stayed the night at Ethan's house. Like the first night, I think me and Wade did, and then I went back and moved in with my mom, and then I think Patrick moved back in where he was at, and then you know, Wade did his thing or whatever. Wade was floating around for a minute, I think. No. I think he went back to Clahatchee, and then he got the house in Delville later and shit, and then Patrick got that house over there with him and Cole, and then you ended up moving in there. Remember? Yeah. And then that's kind of where it went from there. Street. Yeah. So.
And you went to France.
I went to London. I did go to France, but like I lived in London. Yeah. So like, everyone's like, "Yeah, man, you were living in France." I was like, "I was not living in France, I was in London." But I did go to France. Fuck that. France is cool. France is.
How long were you there? Just like a day or something?
I've probably been there like a week max.
Mm-hmm.
Can't even remember. Probably like 3 or 4 days max. And I think, can't remember for real. But the people there were nice and stuff, and the culture is nice. It's a cool place to see. If you haven't been there, definitely go there.
Where all have you traveled to? You said London, France.
Yeah. So London, France.
And then here.
I went. I've toured with my friend Susie and.
You played in Nashville for a little bit, didn't you?
Another pal at the time, Tommy, and
Samaras.
Huh?
Samaras, Tommy. No.
Nah, his name's Tommy Keeling, but yeah, him and Susie Moon or Susie Carmichael, but she had a punk band, and it's called Turbulent Hearts, and they needed a drummer. And I don't even think I was working at that time. I think I needed money, and old girl reached out, and then Tommy hit me up, and then I started just like preparing for that, and then she came, and the first, like right before we left to go on tour, we had one practice. We went over there, we played the songs, took a break, played the songs, and Susie was cool, and she's from LA, and so her being American, me being American, she got there, and I was like, finally, someone who's American, who I can like vibe with, and kind of feel comfortable, because for a long time, dude, like I was losing myself, man. Being over there, like you just.
How long were you there until you met her?
So I met Susie.
Mm-hmm.
Shit. Man, I don't even know. It was a minute.
It was like months.
It had to. Yeah, it was months. It was months. It wasn't like a year or anything, but like.
And so that time you felt pretty alone, or.
Well, I've met a few friends that I didn't feel that way around, but like that moment, just being on tour and like spending like an extended amount of days, comfortable, with people who I feel like understand where I'm coming from morally and shit.
Yeah.
That was good. Like it's a bit different over there, and so like you'll feel like just, I don't know, I felt pressured a lot of the time. Yeah. Because everything's so fast. You're in the city. It's one of the biggest fucking cities in the fucking world. There's lots of just work action going on, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And, like, at the same time, just lots of freaking sadness, and gloom. Like, 'cause it's just so dark and cloudy there all the time.
Really?
Yeah. In the summertime, it'll get nice and stuff, but, like...
So you notice just a difference in cheeriness.
I noticed a difference in status, and that messed up my mood. You know what I'm saying? Like, financially, I wasn't stable. I didn't know anybody. I didn't have any resources and shit like that. I was just, I was starting fresh. Yeah. And I didn't like that, because I had already spent the majority of my life building and gaining resources to use for this. Right. And I went over there, and I couldn't do what I love to do. So I started losing my fucking mind, because things that came easier to other people weren't coming easy to me, because I didn't know the same people, or I didn't have the same things established there, And it's hard to find musicians that have enough time to dedicate, not to mention the freaking costs of traveling, because you're taking the bus and the train, and then, the hours that you're doing it's usually at night, because everyone gets off work, and then you miss the bus, and then you're fucking hungry. It's fucking bullshit. It's fucking freezing. You want to fucking live in London? Go for it, dude. But like, I'm good old South Alabama, dude.
Yeah,
I'm fine here. Yeah. I don't knock it though. I like London. I would visit there. Wouldn't live there. No. Unless I had more money. Yeah, to be honest with you, like I don't have enough money to live in a place like that. Yeah. So, just can't.
I wonder if it'd be pretty similar in any real big city. Because I remember I went to Houston.
Yeah, I imagine it is.
Man. It's a big city. San Antonio, I lived there for a little while. And I moved there shortly after living in Mississippi in Pontotoc.
Yeah.
With a county of 5,000 people. So that was crazy to live there.
Yeah.
Then go to, like,
and I don't think it would be that hard, you know, building resources and making connections and all that stuff that you need to build like business relationships and financial opportunities in a place. Credit, yeah. Like, I think that it wouldn't be so hard if you had that work ethic, but I don't have that kind of ethic in that manner. Like, I just feel like a lot of people have a whole different state of mind. What?
You didn't have a work visa or anything, did you?
Yeah,
or you were able to work? Okay, yeah. I got you.
No, yeah, it was legal.
So you're working jobs, but you just.
My thing is like, I don't necessarily like. It's just like it was hard for me to find people that I connected with, and I noticed everyone around me just wanted to freaking just get sloppy, fucked up all the time, you know.
Really?
And
it
like,
was more.
I'm just not that type of person, and like,
me neither.
And even there's nights where you don't, you know what I mean? But still, like, just like every weekend, man, fucking just 20 people at the house all the time. I don't mind that if I'm with the band, but you know, like, it things, you know, change and shit.
I do gotta say,
I can't really even say that it's that though, you know.
You just think it might have just been that you didn't have anything to plug into.
To be honest with you, I didn't even know what the fuck we're talking about anymore.
So let's move forward to you met the chick, started playing shows, and that was in London. You said y'all were playing shows just all through England, or what?
So we went to fucking Scotland. We went to, I think it was Glasgow.
I've definitely I think that's
we went to Munich, Germany. Is that in Germany?
Munich, yeah. Yeah,
we went to Munich. We played there. Like we did this little circuit. I can't remember all where we went, but
that's
played. Cool. We played in I think it's Blackpool.
That's
England.
Cool.
You know where Blackpool is?
No, but yeah, I know about it.
Blackpool is a town or city in England, and it's like, I think it's in the north. I don't know. It's
we're all playing like bars,
right by the beach though. But there's this festival.
Venues?
There's this festival called the Punk or the Rebellion Festival, and it's apparently one of the biggest punk rock festivals in the world. Nice. And you go there, and I'm talking like just fucking crust punk everywhere, dude. It's beautiful. This fucking punkers just walking around ready to fuck shit up and like having a great time, you know, like. That's what it's about, though.
Yeah.
And we got in there, and fucking Susie got up on stage, dude, and she knew we weren't well rehearsed, so she had to really fucking compensate for that. You know what I mean? Like she knew she
did what, just sing, or she played guitar or what?
She knew her fucking parts perfect, but me and Tommy, we didn't really know. You know what I'm saying? Like, we didn't really know our parts all the way, so we were kind of just like really trying to hold it down, dude. And she would just throw herself around, you know, like just fucking go out in the crowd, fucking throw beer everywhere. She did it. Like, she is a performer. And like that would make me and Tommy do better, though. You know what I'm saying?
Did you learn kind of from that, or did you already have a similar stage presence to now? Is that where you got some of your stage presence from? Watching her and performing with her?
I can absolutely say she's influenced my stage presence. Everyone does, dude. But
right, absolutely.
But
like majorly, or did you already have like a let go kind of spirit?
I'm like, my thing was I didn't know her songs, but I wanted to reassure her that I knew how to play along to her. So when she'd be performing, I would just watch her, you know, just like you do at church or whatever. You know, that's why I like filling in for people, because, you know, like, I don't mind playing along to people at all. In fact, I quite like it. You know, like I like chilling and just doing what I love I love
when I'm last second hired gun, because it's okay to fuck up, and you can really that's when I have had the most freedom, believe it or not, to really go and just do whatever. And that alone made me put on such a performance that on a non-rehearsed show with me, Ethan, and Chris Dixon as Sounds Like Chicken, we played with no bassist and played Freebird for like 4 minutes long with me just wailing. And I don't even really play like that for real. Like I play blues, but I did it. I did whatever, and everybody was blown away apparently. I was like, awesome. Hell yeah, I had a great time.
That's what
and they
it's
picked
about,
us
man.
up immediately for another show for I think 600. And I think something didn't work out with scheduling with one of us or something, or we couldn't get some. It was all crazy. But so what instrument were you playing with her?
I was playing drums.
Playing drums.
Yeah.
And she was playing anything or just singing?
She was playing guitar and singing. It was a 3-piece band. Bass,
She played
drums, guitar.
Nice.
Singer, so yeah.
So she was holding it down, rhythm,
the front
lead,
lady.
and singing, like killing it and putting on a hell of a show.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And I'm talking like a full album, selling it. Like we didn't help sell merch. It's just fucking, you know what I mean?
I want to look her up. Have you kept following her?
The only fucking thing, is like things weren't communicated very, very well, and like she busted her ass,
Keep going.
But I can say to this day, I owe Susie something, you know what I mean? I owe her a thank. She took care of me, man. She did, and like now I feel bad thinking back about it. I feel bad, because she came all the way there, and but I did that like for money and all that stuff, because I didn't have a job at the time. But it is what it is, and like I said, dude, she took care of me, and like she's been doing good, and like I support her, and she taught me a lot of shit,
Yeah.
And
Sounds like she had her shit together.
I have a lot of friends over there that are like that, that I vibe with and can learn shit from. It's just I'm from here, you know what I mean? Like this is where I'm from, and like I can't do anything about that subconscious feeling, you know what I'm saying? Like I can decide if I want to change and adapt to in other ways, but like I'm so invested where I'm at with my family and my community to the point where if I go anywhere, it probably just gonna be like for a few weeks and come back,
Right.
You know what I mean? Because like I'm all about my headquarters and all that shit. So
pull it a little bit closer. But I'm absolutely the same way. Ever since
like,
I had my son.
I don't like being somewhere where I'm not comfortable.
Yeah. Once ever since I lived alone, I was that way. I didn't want to stay somewhere else. But I've always wanted to live. I've lived in a few different places, but
I've lived in Hawaii, Louisiana, London.
Moving here was a little weird. I moved here
because you came from Texas
4 years ago. Yeah, and I guess at that point I was used to moving around. I moved around quite a bit after like 15.
Yeah.
And so with and without my parents. So like I moved, but I don't know, I was trying to...
At 15?
At 15, I moved from Texas to Mississippi, and then back to Texas at like 18 after I lived there for a while on my own. Couch surfing.
You just went to Mississippi by yourself?
No, with my mom.
Oh. Okay.
And then I convinced her to go with her fiance at the time.
Yeah.
And I stayed there because I was in a band and I wanted to live that out.
Yeah.
And
so you lived there by yourself?
Yeah. Yep. Couch surfed.
At 15?
No, at 18.
Oh,
that was at 18.
So y'all lived
so
there
that was for a
3
few
years.
Yep.
Okay.
And,
I was going to say, damn, bro, that's fucking badass.
No, at 18 I couch surfed, and it was so interesting. I learned a lot about people. When you are... Yeah, when you're asking that much of people, you learn about them really quick, and you see how they are with their family, and it's very interesting to watch because they hide shit at first, and then they can't.
Yeah,
it doesn't take long though, especially when you're living there.
Yeah, that's the thing.
3 months, I did everything I could to be polite and just like be a good influence on any kids there, and I did all the chores I could. Just try to pull my weight. The closest town was 10 miles away. The closest gas station was like 4. So I didn't know how to get past that. But anyways, after 3 months, they'd give me 3 reasons why I had 3 days to leave. Like clockwork at like probably 4 or 5 different places in a row. And then this one lady picked me up because her daughter and her friend thought I was cute, picked me up in their Jeep, took me back to their place. Apparently their mom did too, and basically adopted me for like a year and a half.
Where was that at?
That was in Mississippi.
Nice.
And that was when I was in my band. And I lived there, like I said, for like a year and a half. Like I was one of the family.
Damn.
They loved me like their own.
That's cool as fuck.
It was amazing.
That's beautiful.
I met some loving people
thing,
in my
dude.
life, man.
Yeah, you probably made lots of connections.
Oh my God. And it was
so cool.
It was weird because thinking back, I probably shouldn't have done it like this, but I just left because the band I was with, they kicked me out after I went to Oklahoma for like a week.
Yeah.
They said we were going to take like a month-long hiatus. I didn't have a phone. Went to Oklahoma for like a week, came back. The newest member, who I was actually staying at his house for a little bit. His dad gave me a job. He came over and kicked me out. And I went and I got all their autographs, and I have that poster.
Nice.
That's just a story of the humility that I can't help but have, because I just, man. And it was weird. I taught the new guy all the guitar parts.
Yeah. And
all I wanted them to do was succeed. I wish they did. Yeah. Didn't work out, but
you never know.
Oh, I do. I kind of keep an eye on what they do. The dude that kicked me out though, Caleb Stacy, he put out an acoustic album.
Yeah.
And it is amazing.
Is it?
I highly recommend that. I'm gonna start pulling that stuff up right here. I might as well. I've got the computer ready.
Yeah.
But if you like sad acoustic music, that's the one to go. So
I gotta piss if you want to play that anyway.
Yeah. So you played with that one band for a few months, or for what, like a few months or so, and then.
Well, that was just a tour. We just did a tour.
The one tour.
And we played this giant punk rock festival in Germany. At what was it called? That was the one in Munich, I think. And then where else? I don't know where the fuck we went, man. I can't remember. I was so in a haze, dude. Just like
you had at a show.
The most fun I had at a show.
Or a highlight.
Oh fuck, dude. Man, shit. Wait, like any show ever?
In that tour.
Oh, in that tour? Okay.
Yeah.
In
just
that
to
tour,
kind of
man,
give
lots of good highlights, man. Like I said, Susie was killing it. You know, there'd be times she'd get up on the damn drum set. You know, there'd be times where she's freaking doing backflips and shit, fucking getting on people's shoulders and fucking just like hanging from shit and like throwing beer at people and fucking screaming at people and rolling around, just like kicking ass, rock and roll, dude.
Hell yeah.
One highlight though, I remember I felt like shit this night. Like I had a headache. It was the last gig of the tour. I was ready to fucking go. No, I didn't have a headache that night. No. I was still kind of coming down from that fucking shit. I had a mad fucking headache the night before. And I took all this medicine. And actually, this girl from this band called Bloodstrings, they're from Germany. They're awesome. I freaking love these guys. But she was lead singer, and I think she's married to the bass player, or that's her boyfriend or her husband. But, that, you know, they're in a band together. He plays the upright bass, so it's a punk rock band, dude. They're awesome. They're called the Bloodstrings.
That is cool.
And she hooked it up, man. I fucking, it's so funny, dude. I walked around like I was dying. I needed water. Like I was dying, dude. Like I was so dehydrated. I had a headache. I was going feverish. I was like, I really needed some kind of substance, like anything, like water, anything, any stimulant to like my body at that time would have been considered. Anything would have been considered as a stimulant. You know what I mean? Like. At that point, I was so fucking done with life. I just laid down.
And when you first drink water and you feel high for a second.
Oh my god, water.
Fuck, love water.
But man, all right. So I was in this venue, and we were about to go on in like probably like an hour. We were the last band to go on, or actually, Yeah, I think we were the last band or second last band to go on. So I could be wrong though. But we played, goddammit, we played.
Yeah, don't.
And
don't blow this out of proportion.
Yeah, I'm not going to. But at one point I got up, and I think Tommy came to get me. He's like, "Come on, let's go find you some medicine." We went outside and they passed me the spliff. Nothing worked. I still felt like shit. And then walked down the road and I looked up on the map, and we looked up on the map, like where the closest drugstore would be, like to get medicine. But it was like 7 and everything closes so early. Like all the shops are closed when the sun goes down. So you can't fucking go get anything. Like them shops don't stay open. The only shops open on the corners are like fucking little fucking convenience stores where you can get like cigarettes and drinks and shit.
Was like, this is like
they have no fucking medicine. So
it was like small town.
I walked all the way over, like we walked all the way over to this damn shop, right?
Yeah.
And we cut through this park. On the map, on the Google Maps, it says something blah blah drugstore or whatever, a pharmacy. We're going to a pharmacy, So I walk into the pharmacy. Get over there. There's just this fucking like big ass park. We walked through it, and just loads of dudes over there. Just like, hey man, you wanna buy some weed? Mm-hmm. I'm like, what the fuck is this place, man? Like, just like I can get anything I want, you know what I mean? And it was crazy as fuck, dude, because we walked to the end of that park, we talked to people, we were walking in like, hey, no, what's up, like, yeah, no, I'm good, thank you, like, walked to the edge of the park, got to where the pharmacy was, and like, there wasn't even a pharmacy there. It was closed down. It wasn't even, like, nothing was open, there was no sign up, there was no pharmacy. It literally was what was going on in the park. You know what I'm saying? Like, someone found a way to create a location on Google Maps and called it the pharmacy. Because the picture on the fucking thing, the picture on there was the park. It wasn't the fucking pharmacy. And I was like, what the fuck is it? I was like, what the fuck is this? Some OGs fucking cranking shit out here, bro.
Some fucking nerd OGs.
God damn, bro.
Oh man, when your IT guy also sells you your pot.
Oh,
that's
Lord.
Fucking great, dude.
Dude, those guys were nice though, man. They were all out there hustling, trying to get theirs. And I don't know, like we went back and I drank water and took some fucking goody powders and shit. Didn't work. Played that whole fucking show, dude. Went to sleep, woke up, felt great. I don't know.
Great job.
That shit sucked though, dude. Last night of the tour, last show, highlight for me, because it was the one that I got most bitched at for. Or not bitched. I didn't get bitched at. No, it was like, or maybe someone said something. I don't even know. Maybe I said something.
Did it feel like?
It felt like there was tension.
Felt kind of.
So, I was up on stage. I was jamming, right, and there was this dude in the crowd. And Susie was up there kicking ass, doing her thing. And then all of a sudden, I just see this dude go like he just goes like that to her,
That's the same thing as flipping someone off.
Well, to me, I was like, because he went like that, and I was like, oh, you talking about like trying to fucking put you trying to finger her fucking pussy, and I was like, that's fucked up, and like I got mad because I don't know.
Yeah, you thought it was
like that's my girl, you know what I mean? We're jamming. I got her back, and all of a sudden, some dude's just like, I'll fucking fucking rape you or something. Like that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, this dude's a creep. So I fucking stood up in the middle of the fucking show, in the middle of the fucking song, and just stopped playing. And I was like I just like started flicking him off. I was like, well, fuck you, dude, like, and like I don't think anyone saw me.
What?
I think because like it was,
dude, it was classic drummer syndrome.
Bro, it was
nobody
so weird.
Sees you.
Bro, nobody saw me because they did. I don't even think
that is
they
great,
actually
dude.
Because what happened was Susie and Tommy noticed that I stopped playing the drums, right? They noticed because I stopped playing the drums. But nobody in the crowd, I don't think anybody in the crowd really noticed that I was flicking that dude off because he didn't even look at me. I was trying to get his attention. I was like, man, fuck you, dude. Like, I was so mad. I don't know.
Who was he doing that to then?
Dude, listen, I'm not done. Like, and I get done with the fucking with the show, and I think he comes up to me, right? Because they got me back on the drums. I pick up the drums, start playing the song again or whatever. And keep in mind, the song didn't stop one fucking time. Song kept going. It just I stopped playing. Kept tempo though. I don't know how.
It's like clicking it with your foot on the.
But so I'm like, after the show, dude comes up to me. He's talking to me. He's like, "Hey man, like, I wasn't trying to start no shit, man." He's like, "Over on the West Coast, we do this thing, So I was just doing that. It's a thing we do."
Oh, it's a different thing. Okay.
And I was like, okay. I thought you were fucking trying to, like, insinuate some fucking. Like, I was in a weird headspace, man. I was like,
well, it's weird because this is the equivalent of flipping somebody off and over the sea. Overseas.
I don't know shit. All I know is that it looked like he was like saying, "I'm going to stick my fingers in your shit."
That's weird. That's a weird.
You know what I mean? You just don't do that to
West
somebody.
Coast, That's.
Like, for when we're out.
I guess he was doing it to somebody in the crowd, he said, or something?
To Susie.
Oh.
Yeah, that's why I was like, oh, hell no. Because this gang right there.
Gang.
That's the fucking crew.
I swear,
right
there. A band?
Like, on tour, that's the crew. Like, that's how you gotta be.
That's crew. Especially if you're touring, you gotta trust each other, because you're touring with other bands.
Yeah.
You got people that might...
But see, that guy was cool. He was like, "Yeah, I don't think you know me, man. I don't even know what band he said he was in." But he's like, "I was famous in the '80s or something." And I was like, "Okay, well, damn. I'm just glad that like you weren't trying to fucking like do some weird shit to my homegirl, because like you worried me, bro. You worried me." There's a lot that I have to learn. That is funny, man. There's a lot I have to learn.
Yo,
but at the same time,
you gotta hold on.
I want to be myself, dude.
Yeah, absolutely. You gotta hold on to who you are.
You don't see people just going up in anywhere throwing up gang signs. Why are you gonna do that?
I've never seen anything like that. Like,
I mean, people throw gang signs, but not like
this.
Just in like not at a show like that.
Even if he was flipping you off, you could be like, ah. But that's funny though, man. So after that. Did you end up playing with any other bands or anything like that?
I played with this band, Celador.
That reminds me of Cellar Door.
But before I get into Celador, because Celador is my baby, Like,
really?
it's one of my babies.
Really?
Atomic's my baby. Okay. But Celador is one of my babies, I
didn't know about this.
Like, and I'm still like wanting to be involved in Celador,
Okay.
So, but we're gonna talk about Celador. But I joined this band called Never Landed.
Right? That's cool. I like it.
And it was this dude named Pete. And
Townsend? Yeah, that guy.
he was an interesting character, He's a cool guy, I don't really I don't really know him that well, but like I met him through old girl, and like we got along, and he needed a drummer, and of course I was the drummer, dude. I was like, all right, I'm gonna play the fucking drums, because guess what? I didn't have to bring anything.
I didn't know you gigged that much as a drummer.
Yeah, I did. I played a lot of drums. That's my first instrument.
Really?
Drums. Yeah. I love drums. Like, guitar was like what I wanted to play, but drums is what I played first.
Are you more of a drummer or more of a guitarist?
I'm more of a drummer.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Still.
Yeah. Like, when I write a song, I think of the drum beat more first than I do.
I think I make a lot of similar choices to you when drumming. Mm-hmm. And I definitely like to go away from the norm. And I notice that you do some interesting stuff too.
You gotta switch it up. I try to influence off Ethan too. He's got a lot of good ideas and shit, but he's really quick. That's when you're like, so when you can't play it that fast, you can't do what he does, and you're like, how's it? And you try to do it, but you do it in a different way.
Yeah, and it becomes a completely different thing.
Because the way he does it's like, it's easy to throw it all in there together,
I notice he always does right, left, left, right, left, left, right, left, left. Do you do a lot of right, left, lefts? Or do you always do left, right, left, right, left, left, or right, left, right, left, right, left? Because I do a lot of singles. I pretty much do all singles.
Dude, I don't even know. I just play. I don't even think about it. I just think about whatever beat I'm playing right there.
Really?
Just like I might accidentally do it, you know.
But yeah.
And then sometimes I can do it on purpose. But
how much music theory do you have?
Me?
Yeah, any? None? None at all?
I don't study. You know, I have like some.
That's very interesting.
Ideas about, but I don't do
writing
it.
Is
I don't
so
do
good.
it for that. Like and to, I like the way it feels, the way it sounds.
What, if anything, do you want to get accomplished in music? And let's say the next 5 or 10 years.
Dude, yeah, I just want to make within the next 5 to 10 years.
Yeah. Or even just a couple.
We got to at least have 5 full-length albums.
5 full-length albums with Atomic or just in general.
With Atomic, dude.
Yeah.
Within 5 to 10 years, we have to have at least 5 full lengths. You know.
Yeah.
That's just what I'm. I mean, that's what I'm thinking.
Are you wanting to do major tours as well with along with that?
Yeah, but that's up to everybody else.
Yeah.
That we can't be affected. Like, we can't let what we do be affected by ideas like that, though. Because that's not the reality. The reality is we make money where we make money. And, you know, like we...
And you're all going to make certain sacrifices to live a certain kind of life. Like, Patrick is not going to be... He's got a baby. He's not going to be... And you already said you're not trying to tour... Or you're not trying to go to anywhere for more than, like, a couple months. I mean, but I guess tour...
We will make exceptions for music.
Yeah.
Obviously. But, you know, like, babies come first and all that. So, like, there's that. And then there's, you know, like, is everyone in a stable environment? Is everyone moved into their own house yet? Like, you know what I'm saying? So, like, we're still getting there.
Yeah.
We're still getting to where we're all stable.
What's going to be interesting is when, maybe if, but I think more when, it becomes enough of a driving force that's what solves those problems.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm hoping for y'all. I'm really hoping that for y'all.
If me and Patrick can grind as lead singers and lead guitar players, we can pay out our musicians, which is Wade and Ethan. But it's not like that
on social media.
But that's what we could do financially for the band, and then they could be full time, and then we could all be full time.
Yeah.
But like,
that's invaluable.
Yeah. But see and that's why it's important to be an established business.
Yeah.
That way you can tell these places like, we are trying to meet a certain, you know, a certain mark for our payroll. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you absolutely have to get them to fucking see you're a professional, that's what you're going to have to say. Mm-hmm. And then, because it gets to a point where people want to take advantage of your goodness, you know? But then, like, they don't. Because all you got to do is just say, hey, like, this is what I need. And they're like, oh, you know, you should have, you know, you could have said that before. And it really just, you got to reach out because they think everything's cool, you know. And that's why it's important to establish that fucking business name. That way they know it's not just a hobby.
Yeah.
You know, it is a full-time thing.
Yeah, and I think when it all comes down to it, if you have some negotiating tools, like a following in their area or something like that, something where another bar owner in a similar situation has done really well when, like, let's say maybe somewhere in Dothan or something that has had a really good experience with you where it's a lot of walk-through traffic or whatever it is, like for Panama City specifically, I'd say. But whatever it is, whatever the situation is, if you have the negotiating tools and you have the negotiating ability, which is very hard, it is very stressful and it's hyper-emotional. We don't want to admit that, but in sales, that's one of the main things to realize. It is hyper emotional and it's hard on you. It's hard on you, yeah. And if you can learn how to negotiate though properly, you can all be happy or walk your separate ways happy.
Yeah.
Well, shoot, man, it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, dude. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
First comer.
First interview, man. I feel like it went well. There was some good laughs.
Yeah.
We'll at least get that. And a good story, man. It was interesting tales.
Yeah, I appreciate it. That's cool.
Love you, bro.
Yeah, love you, dog.
Thanks for swinging through.
Mm-hmm.